night that should have been calm along the Han River suddenly turned into the beginning of an international controversy. The public believed that the era of these two great stars was over. The last song had been played, the final concert had ended, and the music world concluded. Nothing was left. But in reality, behind the darkened screens and the abandoned stage, there was a secret vow that shook the world. Two figures, Jungkook and Taehyung, chose not the cheers, not the grand stage, but silence. That night, when everyone thought the story had ended, the beginning of something far more dangerous unfolded. Many media outlets wrote that love had ended and the fire had gone out. Yet new rumors, spreading like wildfire, claimed the opposite. Eyewitnesses by the Han River swore they saw two shadows walking side by side. Not as idols, not as global superstars, but as two human beings seemingly returning to their origin. There were no official cameras, no stage lights, only the glow of the city and a single lantern carried by Taehyung. Jungkook was said to be holding an old notebook, worn and fragile, as if it contained something the world was never meant to read. The big question arose. Was this just a personal meeting, or was it a declaration deliberately hidden from the industry? In the middle of strict contracts, management control, and the eyes of millions, how could two global superstars choose to make a silent oath? And even more bizarre, how could that oath spread across the world without ever being officially recorded? An anonymous source, claiming to be part of the production staff, even revealed there was intense pressure from certain parties to destroy any evidence of that night. But the public had already sensed something unusual. Fans near the Han River spoke of strange vibrations, as if some unexplainable energy filled the air. Some claimed they heard faint voices, not from loudspeakers, but from the night wind itself. They felt as though they had witnessed a vow spoken by two voices they knew well. The words that went viral came from Jungkook's whisper. They think silence means ending, but silence is where promises live. Those words, though never officially recorded, spread like fire. Taehyung then replied with what many consider a forbidden vow. Let us promise, here now, even if time forgets us, love will not. Fans who caught wind of these whispers immediately reacted, sparking a global wave of hashtags. Within hours, #SilentOath and #ForeverRemains trended in dozens of countries. The controversy was not only that the words sounded like a hidden confession of love, but also that the vow seemed to defy the system of an industry that demanded silence. Some called it a subtle act of rebellion, a quiet defiance against contracts that dictated their personal lives. The Korean entertainment industry is notorious for its control over artist narratives, so the leak of this vow into public awareness was seen as a direct blow to the system. Even more shocking, the next day testimonies began to emerge from all around the world. A boy in London suddenly hummed an unfamiliar melody at a train station. A girl in Nairobi woke up with tears in her eyes, clutching her chest as if she had overheard a secret in her sleep. In Seoul, several office workers reported pausing mid-commute after hearing faint echoes between skyscrapers. All of these incidents were reported almost simultaneously, as if the vow spoken at the Han River had become a global current. Skepticism naturally followed. Some media dismissed it as mass hallucination or psychological effects of extreme fandom. Yet others believed this was evidence of a cosmic vow, that somehow two voices had pierced the boundaries of human experience. The controversy grew hotter when rumors surfaced of powerful entities working to suppress the story, fearful of losing control of the narrative. Was this merely a personal vow between two people in love? Or was it something larger? Something deliberately hidden from the public eye? Conspiracy theories exploded online. Some argued it was part of a failed secret project. Others accused agencies of manipulating public emotions by leaking a forbidden love story to maintain popularity. Fans, however, refused to believe it was staged. They insisted it was the most genuine moment the world had ever witnessed. As time passed, the phenomenon only intensified. The Han River became a new pilgrimage site. Thousands of fans gathered along its banks, hoping to hear the same echoes of the vow. Many released lanterns into the water, imitating the lantern Taehyung once held. Jungkook's notebook, shrouded in mystery, became a symbol of obsession. What did it contain? Was Was it truly filled with secret confessions never meant to see the light of day? Media outlets began digging deeper. A blurry photo leaked onto online forums showed two silhouettes by the Han River with a faint lantern glow. Despite its poor quality, fans instantly believed it was them. The image became the first visual proof, fueling the rumors. The silence from management only added more fuel to the fire. No official denial, no explanation, just silence. And silence, as Jungkook himself had whispered, became the place where promises live to this point. The story shifted from gossip to legend. New hashtags kept emerging. Hashtag Endless River, hashtag Love Finds a Way, and hashtag Eternal Overture. Each one tied to the narrative of the vow, portraying it not just as a private promise, but as a global symbol of resistance, love, and eternity. Independent musicians around the world began composing songs inspired by the vow, even though they had never actually heard it. This global phenomenon sparked new fears in the music industry. What if just two voices were powerful enough to ignite an emotional revolution? What if a silent vow could make the public trust truth more than any polished global production? Could this be the beginning of the collapse of a system built on contracts, control, and narrative manipulation? Deeper investigations compared the vow to great cultural moments of the past. Scholars called it an invisible cultural moment, an event undocumented by official records, yet permanently imprinted in collective human memory. This, more than anything, terrified the industry. If the legend grew unchecked, Jungkook and Taehyung would not merely be idols. They could become global cultural icons of defiance. But with legend comes darkness. Some claimed the vow was in fact a secret contract between the two idols, a willingness to sacrifice their careers for each other. Others tied it to politics and the machinery of K-pop globalization. Some even accused it of being part of a narrative war between powerful industry factions. Theories grew wilder when anonymous accounts claimed to have excerpts from Jungkook's notebook. One fragment read, "Silence keeps promises. Though authenticity remains unproven, the public already believed." Day after day, the Han River stood as a silent witness. Fans continued to gather, lanterns kept floating, and whispers of the vow lingered. The world kept asking, was this love? Was this rebellion? Or was this the beginning of something far greater than both? One thing was certain: history would never record that night as an ending. It would remember it as the birth of a legend. And perhaps, centuries from now, someone walking by the Han River, not knowing the names Jungkook or Taehyung, might still pause, feeling something stir in their chest, hearing the faint song of the water. Because that vow, simple yet profound, had crossed the boundaries of human life. Love was no longer theirs alone. It belonged to the world. History may forget contracts, scandals, and controversies, but the vow, spoken in silence, will remain. Not as cheap gossip, not as fleeting headlines, but as a legend no one can erase. And this is why the story continues to dominate global conversations. Because it is not just about two human beings, but about a promise that defied time itself.